joining us now, an all-around gold 2-time international winner, first English gymnast to ever win the, correct me if I'm wrong here, Larua Cooke Cup, Larua Cooke. How are we doing, Laura?
I'm so good, thank you.
was I pretty close on the
Yep.
Larua Cooke?
Very close.
Interesting.
Leverkusen, yep.
Okay. Can you run me through that meet? Was that obviously you must have absolutely dominated there. How was it competing at that kind of event?
Yeah, so it was an international competition back home before I came to college. I represented England, went to Germany, Leverkusen, and I don't have much like faith in myself, so it was very like a shock. I had no idea like what was going on, but just had a really good meet. And then they called out my name that I'd won the all-around gold. So yeah, super fun.
Can't complain about that. It's surprising that you don't have a lot of confidence in yourself when you look at all of the accolades. I mean, we just took a class together, and I was like, oh, okay, we'll get a gymnast on. And then you were like, oh, okay, so she's won just about every medal I've ever seen. Okay, good to know. What was this is going to sound so corny, but the training in UK obviously is, I would assume, much different than you obviously mentioned you transferred over to Iowa State in the United States. What would you say was the biggest difference between a UK training regimen and a college USA regimen?
I think that like obviously I liked gymnastics back home, but like college gym is so fun. And like having a lot of girls my age here is awesome because like I was the oldest back home. Like everyone else was like 10 years old. Like that's not even an exaggeration. Like all the little girls I would train with, which was also really nice because like they looked up to me and stuff. But it's so nice here to have like people your age going through the same kind of thing as you. And obviously it was a lot like stricter back home, and it had to be because like we weren't adults and didn't really know what we were doing. So like anything I was told to do, I would do. But yeah, it's just much more like fun and calm over here, I would say.
How do you stay competitive when everybody else is like 10 years old?
That's crazy.
Like I'd go insane. I don't like being around people that are like 4 years younger than me. Like they just kind of get annoying after a while.
Nah, I love little people, and I like the fact that like they looked up to me. Like I think that was really cool. Like it was kind of like, yeah, I was like their inspiration. That sounds so corny as well.
So did that motivate you to like be better and like look better in their eyes? Okay.
For sure. Like I had to like be a role model to them, and like my coach would always say like if you work hard, like this is what you guys can get to as well. So yeah, that was like my motivation, I guess.
Interesting.
Over here in practice, do you have any like, I don't mean this in like a mean way, but do you have any like like a rival on the team you'll compete with, like a friend?
I feel like I'm not a competitive person. Well, I am, but very like inwardly. So like in previous years when like I was fighting for my spot in lineup, like there was obviously like people I was competing with, but I never saw it like that because I'm very much like, if you think like if the coach thinks they deserve it more than I do, then like I trust their decision. Like I was never like had like beef with anyone or anything like that. But now like I have my spot in lineup, so I guess I'm not like, I don't know, I'm not a very competitive person.
I gotcha. Circling back to the 10-year-old, I had a quick question. So obviously you're competing with some of the best at extremely young ages. Was there like when you were really young, was there a moment when you kind of knew, oh, like I'm going to take this gymnastic thing and run with it? Or were you just kind of like doing gymnastics for fun, and then all of a sudden it was like, oh, all right, we're pretty decent at this?
Yeah, it was. So I got put in gymnastics like with my sister when I was 4 years old by our parents just to do like a bit of fitness and exercise and stay fit. And I never ever like once thought like I'm going to go to America and do college gymnastics. Like it's always been a very big part of my life. So I think obviously I was very like serious about it, and I never like envisaged life without gymnastics. That sounds so sad. But no, I never like, there wasn't really a turning point where I was like, I could actually like use all this years of like gymnastics to like get me to the other side of the world.
Yeah, did you?
I never really thought that.
No, what was? I mean, I never thought that. I guess I assumed that that's given, but like, what is there other options than coming to the United States, or is that kind of known to be like that's the goal, is to get to the United States?
I had a couple friends who did this, which was the only reason I knew about it. And like I traveled to the States a lot, to like all the big ones like New York, Vegas, Florida for like vacations and stuff, but had never ever heard of Iowa.
Yeah, I say you travel to Iowa.
No, absolutely not. But the options back home were like you either go to university for school or you go like professional sports. And obviously there's absolutely zero money in gymnastics.
Yeah.
So I was just going to take the like school route, but then we applied with an agency and like they sent out all my videos to like all the universities across America. And then here I am at Iowa State.
So you didn't get scouted or anything?
No.
No.
Interesting.
It was just like, well, I mean, technically, I guess it's like getting scouted because like they see your videos and then decide like if they want you or not. So like a few colleges reached out. Like I was supposed to go to Pittsburgh. I think I had Southern Utah as well. But when I visited Iowa State, that was what like really sold me.
Okay, well, I was going to say what really would bring you to Iowa State, but yeah, I fell in love with the campus as well, so I could definitely see where you're coming from. You mentioned there's not a lot of money in gymnastics. Obviously, you're an exercise science major. I know you're kind of interested in the whole how things work, like training and all of that, and we can get into more of the training behind gymnastics because I'm very interested in how you guys get the grip strength to fling around on bars and hang on like that. But what do you think you're going to do? I know you're a senior. You're coming up on kind of the end of this tenure here. What are you thinking for after? You're going to do some coaching and maybe end up doing gymnastics more, or are you kind of looking to pivot away?
It's a really touchy subject right now because I have a lot of like questions in my head about like the future and stuff. But we also have our COVID year, like still as an option. So yeah, since I was a freshman, when COVID happened, they gave us all another year of eligibility, which is a really cool opportunity. And like ultimately, I would like to end up here. So I'm kind of like, it's an opportunity. Why would I not do gymnastics for another year?
100%.
So yeah, that's kind of in the works right now. And then in terms of like school and stuff, I'd probably just like do a grad certificate or another minor or something like that. And then working at state gym right now, actually. Did a bit of coaching previously, but like, yeah, just I do want to stay involved in gymnastics in some way, but I'm not sure that I'd like end up being a coach. I'll always like, it'll always be a part of my life and I'll always go in the gym and like play about and like I'll always do it, but I'm not sure that I will stay in it forever. It's taken up a large part of my life.
100%. So with that extra year, obviously that's more time on the mat. This obviously, I went in and looked at the Juicy Wiggle floor routine as an Iowa State goer. I loved that routine. I guess my question would be, how did you come onto the Juicy Wiggle routine? That's brilliant. I loved that routine. And then also, how has the season been going this far? And then if you do another year, obviously, do you think you can go up from here, or what are you looking to improve?
So Juicy Wiggle, actually, really funny you should say that because like when I picked that music, so we get to pick our own like floor music, and I picked it with my mum back home over the summer, like a few years ago. Had no idea what the Juicy Wiggle was. Absolutely no idea.
You didn't even know? No way.
No idea. I didn't know any Iowa State songs except Sweet Caroline, and I didn't even know it because like of football. Like I knew it because we sing Sweet Caroline back home. So
oh my gosh.
It's really embarrassing.
But I
stumbled across Juicy Wiggle. You've never heard of Juicy Wiggle?
No, before I got here.
Oh.
No, Juicy Wiggle. I had never heard it before I got here either. How did that
I was like, what is that?
What are you listening to in your free time?
And then, yeah, we like heard the music. It was like this specific floor music. And I was like, wow, that's like cool. It's like upbeat, like fun. Yeah. And then I came back and they like choreographed it like as Juicy Wiggle and like started like talking about, you know, all the like fun things they do.
Right.
And I was so confused. I was like, I have no idea what this means. And then the first time I competed in Hilton, everyone went absolutely crazy. And I was like, what is going on? Like, I don't even know what this is. And it was only like last year I realized like they play it like that's our song. And like, yeah, so that was how that happened.
That is super cool.
Yeah.
Funny, yeah. And now I feel like I just have to keep it like every year. I think I've had it the past 2 or 3 years.
Oh, I
And
didn't know
like
you got to
I
keep the same
can't.
one.
You don't have to, but I just feel like I should because it's
Oh, yeah.
Juicy Wiggle and like everyone goes crazy in Hilton. This year was really cool. They got customized like towels that say Juicy Wiggle on them, and like when I was doing my floor routine, they all pulled out the towels and like started waving them about. So that was really fun.
Dang, that is super cool.
How long does it
Yeah.
take to like think up of a new routine and then do it and then take it to a meet? Is it called a meet?
Or new choreography for the same song. I would imagine that's not super easy either.
Yeah, I mean, we're very used to it at this point, so like you can get it done in a day for sure. It just takes a while, especially for me to like yeah,
to like really
a
get
few
it down
hours.
too.
To really get it down, like you have to really grow into it, I feel like I know the dance, but it takes a while for you to like really get into it. Like this is my 3rd year doing it, and I've only now mastered the facials and everything.
Oh, true. They grade you on all of that stuff, like the fingers, and it's very intricate. Redden, do
It's
you
a
have
really big part of it.
100%?
Yeah, I was gonna ask. So when you're done with school and all that stuff, do you plan to go back to England,
Oh, good
or are you
question.
planning on staying in the States?
I want to stay in the States. I really
Let's
do.
go! Yes!
Yeah.
Let's keep her here.
But it's
One
so
for the good
tricky.
guys.
It's so hard. It's like you have to, because I'm on a
T's
student
better over here,
visa
too.
right now. So like I'd have to be on a work visa or like a green card, and like it's just so hard to like figure it all out. Like there's a lot of stress in my head because I really don't want to get deported, but yeah.
I don't think anybody wants to get deported.
No, I do want to stay here ultimately, but like if it means that I have to go home for a bit, like find a job out here, like yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
I've been cooking up this question.
Oh,
Have you
jeez.
ever heard of the gymnast Livy Dunn?
Oh, God.
How good is she?
Oh my goodness. Anytime you talk to anyone about gymnastics who like isn't really in the gymnastics world, that is all they talk about is Livy Dunn.
Oh, look at this guy.
I told you.
Absolute.
Sorry.
I'm basic.
Come on.
No,
But I want to know because she's huge.
So is she really that good?
Is
Yeah.
she good though?
She good or just hot?
Oh, my God.
Real question.
so I mean, I don't know the ins and outs of LSU gymnastics team. I know like I and some other girls on the team have like beat her on bars and stuff before.
Ooh,
she's a really
she's
good
personally
gymnast.
beat. Oh, let's go. Oh.
She is a really good gymnast, like really good. And like when she was little, especially, but like I know now that she hasn't been competing because she had some like injuries. Like I think she tore her labrum, but like she is really a good gymnast, and I like props to her that she's like taken her looks and like her platform and like used it to the best of her ability. Because like some people like are very envious of that, but like I think like all props to the girl. Like fair play. Like you
Yeah.
made the most of what you had, and I think good job. Like yeah.
100%. So you mentioned that you had beat her on the bars, and obviously,
Yeah.
I feel like you're most known for your floor, at least around Iowa State with the Juicy Wiggle. How could you not be? Have you always just done floor and bars, or have you experimented with other like events, or how does that look?
So before I came here, I was like an all around. So I did vault, bars, beam, and floor.
Oh, vault's
And then
sick.
coming here, we're more of like a specialist team. So I like those were the two that I focused on, but I still trained like all around. And then this year and last year, I really just focused in on vault, bars, and floor. But I'd never like really competed vault until this year. Like
Okay.
I had my debut, at the Beauty and the Beef.
Oh, I
actually.
was gonna ask about
So-
that. That's such a cool event.
Yeah, it was really cool. There was a lot going on. I was very overwhelmed because it was the first time I'd ever like competed vault, but I competed it and got a career high.
Let's go.
Obviously.
All right.
So yeah, it was really fun. Yeah.
So can you walk me through what the Beauty and the Beast is for those that don't know?
Please.
So I honestly had no idea either what it was until it happened. But it's basically where wrestling and gymnastics go at the same time. So like Hilton was like split in half, the arena, and like it was gymnastics and the wrestling mat, and like everything was going on at the same time. So like they wouldn't stop to wrestle like when we would go, and like eyes were everywhere. The arena was so packed. Like it was funny because they were wrestling to like we get to pick like theme songs. So
Oh my
like a
God.
lot of the girls have like country music to their theme songs, and they were wrestling to country music. So it was really funny.
That's
But no,
funny.
it was a really good time.
This
Yeah.
already happened.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yes.
They do it every year though, I believe. So
That sounds
We
like
haven't done it in a few years, but we like that was since COVID. So hopefully they'll do it next year as well. So you
I would
guys will
love to
have to
go.
come.
That'd be hilarious
Yeah.
to watch like younger have to wrestle to like let it go or something. That would
Yeah.
be incredible.
Yeah, some Doja Cat song.
Dude, that's an announcer's nightmare right there. How are they gonna? That's like
Yeah.
so much going
I
on.
know. Well,
Like with-
Younger was actually going while I was on floor, and like the announcer, like my music was about to start, but the announcer was like commentating something about Younger, and like everyone was like cheering and making noise, and then I couldn't hear my floor music.
Oh no! I'm
So
sure
it must
there's.
have been really stressful.
I'm sure there's definitely some logistical issues. Was there anyone that you? I don't know if you watch a lot of wrestling. Was there anyone you were trying to watch and you kind of conflicted with your events, or?
Not me personally, but I actually think I think it was Younger, and like I don't know wrestling, but like they did it's not called a play. They did something, and the audience didn't like it because it wasn't like in Younger's favor. But one of our girls had just finished her floor routine, and she was like celebrating, but like everyone was booing because they were booing for Younger. It was so sad, and it was like the whole arena was like booing, but like
Oh,
she
no.
just finished her floor routine. So that was
is
really awkward,
terrible
but
timing.
yeah.
They
And
should
then
do
we
more
also-
sports like that.
That'd be a
It's
good
really
story in
fun.
like 2 months, but I'd be devastated.
Yeah.
I'd
It's
be
one of those things that's like
devastated.
funny after the fact, but
Yeah.
yeah, not really at the time. No,
So
that
then
is.
at the end of the meet, like we'd finished before wrestling was done. So like it was nice because we all got to sat and watch. I think Sam was the last one. So yeah, we were all like cheering for Sam. So that was kind of cool.
Dang, that's a hard meet to beat, I think. I feel like just the atmosphere would be insane. And there's some crazy logistical things I didn't think about, like teammates, or not teammates, but the crowd booing for the wrestling while the gymnastics, like a floor routine finish like that.
Yeah.
That is crazy. But is there a different meet that, like, really stands out in your memory? Like, man, that one was really memorable, really exciting to live out. And maybe, maybe one of these gold medals. You have so many gold medals, I don't know how you can pick one. But, anything along those lines?
Ooh. In terms of college, I would say our conference championships last year, I believe it was. We were so close to beating Oklahoma, who are the
Oh.
national champions. Yeah,
would be
we were
sweet.
so close. And
That
it was
would
a
be
really
awesome.
like exciting meet. It was really good. But we didn't. They won in the end. And then I don't know about internationals. I did the British championships back home, so that's like our like national championships. Is in a really cool arena in Liverpool. Don't know if you know the football team, the soccer team.
Of
my
course.
team, Liverpool. Shout out. The
Shout
only
out
team.
Liverpool. Yep.
Yeah, that's where the arena is, and it's like huge. And they have like
Whoa.
massive, like when you walk out the tunnel, it's like smoke and fire, and like yeah, that's a really
Oh.
cool one to go to.
That would be hard to beat.
Yeah.
Have you ever been screwed over by judges, in your opinion? Or
Oh, getting
All
into
the time.
Really?
Because it's so
All the
subjective, right?
time.
Like it's all
it's
just
so
what they
subjective.
think.
It's more subjective than like diving.
Oh wow.
Oh my gosh. Because, like, it's not like a swim meet where, like, you win the race, like, done by time. Like, football, you cross the line, like, you get the touchdown. I don't know all these football terms.
That was pretty good. Aced it.
But, yes, I'm only just learning how, like, subjective it is. And I think, like, having meet after meet after meet, like, it's the saddest thing when you think you've hit, like, the best routine you've ever done. And then, like, someone else's opinion, like obviously, but I get that it's part of the sport, and the main thing is just like the hope that it's fair for everybody. So,
Right. As long as the judges are fair amongst everybody, even if you might
Yes.
get screwed over a little bit, at least it's fair. I could see that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you kind of touched on it there. I'm interested. So you said you don't really understand the football terminology, touchdown. You aced it. It was good work. But coming
Thank
to
you.
America and watching these different sports that are probably not very prevalent in England, is there one that like really stood out to you? Is like really, what are these guys doing, or that's like really fun to watch?
The first time I went to a college football game, I was like, what on earth is all this hype about? Like, they stop every 10 seconds. Like, they're wearing pads for a start. Like, rugby, our rugby boys back home, like, they just hit into each other, no helmets, no pads. Like, I was so confused. But now, like, I understand it more, and like I've been to a lot more games, and like a lot of my friends and stuff, like I get it a lot more, and like I do enjoy it much more now. And I've sat through a lot of football games in the negative weather.
Oh, wow.
But yeah,
dedicated
yeah,
fan.
I know it is major dedication, especially because I still don't really know what's going on. But like, it interests me. Like, I do think it's really cool, and that's where all the money is. So like,
True.
best to learn now, I guess.
Yeah, and I think Jack Trice is a fun place to watch football too. It's not the best, stadium in America, but it's up there. Juicy Wiggle. I mean,
It's fun.
We got a good
I
environment.
love the Juicy Wiggle.
I was in her position a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
I'm not joking, dude.
Oh my God! On a sports podcast, doesn't even know what American sports are.
No.
Yeah.
So when they whip out the Juicy Wiggle in Jack Trice, do you start doing your floor routine or what?
Yes, I do actually. I'm in the front row of our section doing the Juicy Wiggle, yeah, and my floor routine.
Wow.
It's kind of embarrassing. So just pretend you don't know me if you ever see me on the screen.
Well, I'll be looking out for that. Thank you a lot for coming on here, Laura. We just quick shout out because obviously you don't have to. I'm not gonna lie. I did not know that you were such a prevalent, huge gymnast. I kind of felt bad asking you to come on after seeing you had multiple like gold medal and championships deals here, but we really appreciate you coming on. I know a lot of like my sisters wanted to see a gymnast come on the program and all that kind of stuff, but we really appreciate it. I know these guys probably not super thrilled, but I think James, you didn't even know.
We got an athlete on
I
here.
was about Livy Dunn over here.
Not
I just
super
wanna know how
thrilled's
good
not
she
the right
was.
word.
Well,
No, it's okay. I appreciate you guys like giving us a platform because gymnastics doesn't get like a lot of recognition. So like, I love that. Like, this has been really cool. And even if it is because of Libby Dunn, it's fine.
well, if you have any other gymnasts that would like to come on, we send them our contact info. We would love to have them on. But I have one more technical question. I saved it for the end because I know not a lot of people are interested in it. But obviously, I'm a kinesiology major. James is a kinesiology major. You're a kinesiology major. What does the training, conditioning, what does that all look like? I can't imagine you guys run touchdowns or sprints or anything like that. I would imagine most of your training is done in the actual like gym, not like the lifting gym, but like the gymnast gym. Do you guys do a lot of lifting outside of that, or how does that look?
So in season, we lift less. Like over the summer and like preseason is when we do most of our like lifting and stuff. But it's actually cool talking to other sports because I never realized either that like football don't actually like play football. Like, especially right now, like, all they're doing is lifting. And, like, even during season, like, they only have, like, 1 day a week where they, like, run into each other. I don't know the technical terms. But, like, that was crazy to me because, obviously, like, we're doing our routines, like, every single day. Like, the thing that we're competing, like, we do multiple of them every single day, which I think is, like, partly why, like, our bodies are very unwell by, like, age 25 because we're doing that all the time. Like, people told me if we like did football plays like all the time football, like we genuinely wouldn't be alive.
Oh
and
yeah,
that, like makes
100%.
sense. But yeah, it's largely like we're very like gymnastically fit. So
Yes.
like we do conditioning in the gym, so it's like leg lifts, rope climbs, pull-ups, like things that are gonna help like gymnastics. Obviously, in terms of like lifting, we still do lift weights as well, but especially right now, it's more like tailored towards gymnastics.
True, especially with the end of the season coming. Well, we wish you the best
Thank you.
in the postseason or in these last couple meets, and we'll definitely be keeping an eye out to see what you're able to accomplish. And maybe, who knows, maybe we'll have a recap, another meeting where we recap how everything went. But thank you so much for coming on here, and we couldn't thank you enough.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What up, y'all? Welcome to the hut. Looks like I tried to blend in a little bit today. If you enjoyed this clip from the full live show of Marv on Air, be sure to hit like and subscribe down below. It helps us out immensely. You have no idea. And then we go live Mondays and Wednesdays at 6 p.m. So be sure to tune in for that. We'd love to see you in there. And I know you can't get enough of Marv on Air content right now, so check out this video. This one right here. This is a good one. I'll see you in there.